Okay, thank you. We're good. Is everybody logged in that needs to log in? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for your time. We're good to go here, I think. So do you want to just start off with some questions? Is that how you want to?
Yeah, let's hear what you guys are thinking, and then we can talk a little bit, but let's hear what, folks.
Okay. All right. Who wants to start off with some questions?
I'm recording it so that we can, the people can have it a little later if this, they can review it.
Okay. Oh, good. I didn't do my hair, but that's all right.
Me too.
So they have been through the professional development. So this is their second time. So they've been through all 4 components of the PD piece, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And then, so then they should have like created a map at the end of it. So in roadmap 4, that they got from the repository, they should have created something, and there should be some type of an artifact at the very end of it. And their creation, we were kind of going to talk about like, how easy did they find it to customize, or will they share what they made so that we can kind of see like, were the directions correct enough? It's not, you know what I mean? Like how that all worked out for them. Was it an easy process? Was it uncomfortable? What was uncomfortable? Like if we know those things, we can help. Okay.
All right. I know after our PD on Monday, whatever day it was, these are all blur right now, but I sat with the 3rd grade team, and they went through and they got a roadmap going, and they kind of did the hit and miss and kind of just came up with what they needed to come up with just from trial and error kind of stuff. So yeah. I know that team did that, but they're not here today. But do any of you have anything you want to share from that experience?
I was just thinking I could have sent it to Monique and she could see it like on the schedule that I made or something. I don't know. It's not out of the core thing that Profession talked about the other day, but I could share. I've been working on quite a few things. I can share something.
Oh, we would love that.
I do some too, but I just need to see what.
So you're going to email it to Monique, or do you want to?
I think I can add her as a collaborator.
Oh.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah.
Okay.
Can we put it's mcoolman@geneseeschools.org. M Coolman, COULMAN.
Oh, Genesee.
Genesee. How do you spell Genesee?
GENESEE, Genesee. No. GENESEE, schools with an S on the end, .org.
It's a funny word, yeah.
So I just added you as a collaborator.
That's awesome. That'll work perfectly.
My computer's not working. Here, I don't know how it works. It's not showing up that you're collaborator. I'm not sure about Melissa. I know Melissa's made a bunch too, but she's got. I tried to do the schedule.
Do you get a message when you're a collaborator? When you're added as a collaborator?
I will.
No.
It'll show up. It'll just show up in my list once I'm a collaborator.
Okay. And it takes 3 minutes because it percolates.
Okay.
I do know one big question that we have right now. I think we all have, and that is there a good like a practice roadmap that they use for training students and families so we can share with families on Monday when they get their iPad?
Yeah. How about while we're waiting for that, Liat shows you what has been created for that, okay?
Perfect. We have the answer for that. Absolutely. Liat, take it away, kiddo.
Liat.
Drum roll.
Sure. So we do have some resources for you for the beginning of school to support you, your parents, and your students as you start using roadmaps.center on our platform. I'm going to share my screen if that's okay.
Please, yes.
So just a general thing before I show you the maps that we made for you. We urge you to go to our Need Help tab on the CDC website. You have how-to tutorials. They're 1 minute, they're short and to the point, and FAQs. All of these are here for you to support you. Let me show you. You have videos for students and videos for teachers. So you can also share these videos with your students. And then these are more for you if you need assistance with any of our apps or general questions. More than that, we have some maps for you for the first week of school. So we have my first roadmap. Because the first time you use a roadmap, you have to give Google permissions. And we have a version for K2 and a version for 3 and up. So this is for non-readers, and this one is for readers. And it's like a 15-minute, 20-minute map. It's fun and cute. They open in the process all the apps that they're going to be using and give Google permissions and get clues and try to find the mystery object. So we have those two. We also have the first week map. This is that you can share it with your student individually or collaboratively for the whole class, and we'll have a video showing you how to do that. And this is a fun way for you to practice only one of the apps every day, so one at a time, not to overwhelm them. As you do icebreaker and getting to know each other activities, and we have ideas for you here, but I'm sure you're creative and you already have a bunch of ideas of activities you want to do with your kiddos for the first week of school. And this is a way to do them with the platform so the kids can also practice it. For example, this PDF, they can work on it collaboratively, and it's just 25 blank sheets. So anything you would do with a poster and have them look to the right and look to the left, you can do the classroom norms here and have kiddos explore what others thought, and generate the class rules from here. And all of these ideas are here. So these are some of the apps that we have for you. We also have we have parents training, but we also have the kids training that's set up like a visit to Disneyland if you choose to use that. And again, as they visit the different parks in Disney World, they practice. Oh no, this is an old version. I'm so sorry. We have the full map. They practice the different apps as well. So for example, when they go to Galaxy Edge, they practice using PDF Pal, and they solve a maze and a word search. So they practice PDF and they do something fun with Star Wars.
And in there, Leah, will you show it?
Sure. I hope I have it here. I opened up accidentally my old version.
Slow down.
Yep.
You're going very fast.
Sorry.
But this is so awesome. Yeah, let us enjoy it.
And then for the little ones that are not readers, they're gonna match they have matching Star Wars Lego figures and stuff like that. It's cute and fun for them.
Really quick question. So where do we get to this again, please? How do we get to this?
All the maps are gonna be on on the roadmap.center website in the repository. I can show you how to get there. You go to the website, roadmap.center.
Yep.
Then here on the left bar, you have search repository.
Okay.
It's the magnifying glass.
Yeah.
And all of our maps are here, and they will start with UMCDC.
Oh, okay. So it's not under, I didn't know if it was under a certain subject. It's not under a training video. Oh,
Okay, UMCDC.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, all right, thank you.
so many.
So that's what the information we need to give our kids when we hand out our devices to them, is how to get to these introductory videos and introductory roadmaps.
Yes.
Well, you want to explain about sending them the class lists? And...
Absolutely. Just before Monique does that, I just want to mention these are maps that are available for you. Feel free to modify them, make them your own. You don't have to use them. It's just a way to break it for you so you can practice very slowly and easily and transition your kids into roadmap.center.
Okay.
This is a great map. Scott, this is a great map. Go back to that one. Because you can see KWL is one of the tools. What do you know? What do you wonder about? What do you learn? PDF Pal is a wonderful tool. It's a markup. So you can play that game that Liat just showed you. It's a wonderful tool. Writer is a very simple writing tool. Collaborify Map is a concept mapping tool. Flipbook is a very simple animation tool. So in one map, the kids are going to learn, the parents too, the teachers too, they can learn too.
Wonderful, thank you.
It's a great map. This is a great map.
It really is. And this is a place where they can also practice working together collaboratively in one place. So it can be sent out as a whole class activity also, right? So just so that we're clear, because I know you wrote down roadmap.center. Roadmap.center is only for teachers, and start.roadmap.center is for students. So students will go to start.roadmap.center to get their maps.
Awesome, thank you.
That's the Hebrew version.
I was going to say, what?
That's great.
That's too funny.
What happened?
The Hebrew
Because
version.
of the way you have your screen set up. It's the Hebrew version. Because she writes from the opposite side than we do.
Wrong side.
Wrong thing. So this is the students platform, and when your students log in here again with their Gmail, they'll see all the maps that you send them in a list. See, Miss Coleman sent me homework. She sent me a social studies map.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. Jill, is that good for your question?
That helps so much.
And then we can also, we'll explain today, we can go through that whole process of setting up your class, if you have your classes, and then setting up your class, putting, and then distributing these maps and all those pieces. But I will share my screen because I did get the map and it looks awesome, by the way.
Great.
Let me pull it up. So here is their first crack at a map. Can you believe this? This is awesome. So this is their first day lesson. We may take this from you and use it. Get to know Miss Dow. So click on Collaborify Writer. And within this writer node, she has probably some information about herself. Very cool. Talking about the purple speaker. So she's already got this down. Please let me know about yourself in the box below. You could give them an option to videotape themselves, even though it will hold 30 seconds of video, or if they do it from their phone, they can upload it on there. That is so cool. Collaborify virtual matrix. You know, now that you've shared this, all of your school is going to want this. This is awesome. So it has their matrix, their behavior matrix on there. So people cannot say they don't know how to behave. Check the matrix, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because they have it with them all the time now. It's not like you have to take them to a specific wall and say, right there. No, they have it with them all the time. What are you most excited for? It's like opening a little package, right? It's fun. It's Collaborify Writer, and here provides information via text and video. Questions below, very cool. Respond to my question here. That is cool. Kid President, we love him. Daily video.
I'm asking you to make a donation right now before
I'm going to tell
the
you something.
official FEC deadline.
I'm going to stop him. You want to put this URL for this YouTube in a Collaborify Writer. Let me tell you what happened to me yesterday. So there's this awesome video that two teachers were rapping. I don't know if you saw it. It was on the Today Show and it was on GMA. Well, I played it for everybody yesterday thinking, oh, this is so awesome. I want everybody to see that. I'm showing it to people. Well, you know how the video just continually runs and the next video starts? Well, it threw out the B word and yeah, it started. I was like, oh my goodness, that's why you put it in a Collaborify Writer. So I learned my lesson there. So what I would recommend, and I'm going to show you how to do that real quick, is this YouTube URL. You just copy it, and then we're going to go back to the map. Back to this map. And then what I would do is put it in a Collaborify writer node. So I'm going to show you on your map since, and then you can just transfer your picture over there. But then you don't have to worry about that happening to you, right? Because you don't know what video is going to play after that. You really don't know. Believe me, I learned my lesson yesterday. So you just paste it in the URL in and click save, and it's there. And then you don't have to worry about that whole thing with it playing on YouTube. You don't have to worry about all the distractions and kids getting into other things that they shouldn't be in. Like, again, it's that plus at the bottom, photo, video, and then you just add your YouTube video. Or if it's from a phone or something that you're adding it, it's your personal video. It's that select a photo or video. Or you can even take a new photo or video, but that's a 30-second deal. So
Thank you.
just so you know, I got caught on that one yesterday.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, I don't want you getting caught on it.
Right. Thank you. Good advice.
And so, yeah, you'll just have to add your photograph in there and then put it back together. Sorry about that, but it's all set up for you now though. And then introduction to Zoom. Oh, we're going to do the same thing here, probably, right?
Hi, everyone. It is the blue.
I think that would be perfect because of the fact that, yeah, we want them just to go to that particular video. So we're going to copy it. And then we'll go back to the screen and add these. I hope you don't mind that I'm doing that, Melissa. Oh, not a web resource. You know, I used to put them in as web resources too all the time. And then I realized that, you know, I really, just to protect myself and the kids from some of that I needed to put them in the writer. So again, you click the plus at the bottom, add YouTube video. I'm going to just paste that URL that I just grabbed and save, and it puts it in for the Zoom video. So it's there, ready and waiting for you. And you can work on this right now, Melissa, while I'm in here too. Like, we can be working together and you can be adding like making this back, you know, and putting the photo in. So you can be doing those things while we're walking through these also. Oh, the district calendar. This is awesome because those are things for sure that parents are going to want to have, that kids need to really kind of understand how a calendar works. I mean, 4th, 5th grade, they understand this, but this is, you know, it's better than having it on your refrigerator or all coffee stained, right? How-to videos. Awesome. How to use roadmaps, good. Get to know PDF Pal, get to know Writer, get to know Map. You guys are rocking this out.
Oh, I know where you copied this from. It's from one of our maps, and you feel free to use it. And the same way that Melissa copied this node from one of our maps, you can also copy the school guidelines, the virtual matrix to your maps, and even put it on every map that you send your kids on the first week of school. So it's always there for them for the first week. You can always refer back to that.
Right. And just to show Melissa something, if she wants to share this with her teammates, right, or her school, so that everybody could go through and all they have to do is put get to know Miss whoever, or get to know Mr., you know, in there, and email, you know, you would just put your personal information in it, but everything else could stay the same. So nobody has to do that extra work, right? So up here at the top and the 3 dots, I won't do that because I don't know if you want it in the repository, but here you can submit it to the repository, which means that it would be public for teachers to search it out over here, and they would be able to get that map, and when they open it from the repository, it will become theirs and it won't mess with your copy. So you can share that as a staff, and that's really important, right, to know, because I would think about changing maybe the title to make sure that it said Lakeview, so that they know what they're getting. But I mean, this is awesome. And why recreate the wheel, right? This is great. This is a great way to start. And why wouldn't we just use exactly what's here and just put in our own little pieces? Because I mean, you got a great base right here.
Absolutely. Monique's point about the name is really important, because there's going to be a lot of first day lessons, right?
Yeah.
So you do want to change it. But notice, Monique can't change the title of your lesson.
No. I can, yeah, I can, see, I can click on it all I want. It won't allow me to do that. But what I could do is here in my modify my roadmap, since you shared that with me.
Watch this, watch this. This is an important tip.
Yeah. So here I have the first day lessons that Melissa shared with me. I can click here, these 3 dots in the corner, and then I could add collaborators to her map also, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make a copy instead. So now it's going to create a copy that I own, and it's going to put my name as the owner. So then if I were to make changes to anything, it's not going to affect her. So right here we have first day lessons. So I'm going to click on that, and it opens up, and now it's my map. So now I can change the title. So if I were to click on the title here, I can actually change it now so that it is Mrs. Pullman's first day lessons, right? And I can save it.
Great.
And,
Wow.
and think about what you can do with it throughout the year. Once you have your template for the first week's schedule, you make a copy and call it week 2 and just change the worksheets or the lesson links. And then week 3, like once you have a good base, it's just a matter of copying and pasting and you're done.
Yes, yes. That's what the beautiful thing is, right? That you can have a math node, and then you know that you did lesson, 1.4, and then the next day you're going to do 1.5. So you just have to load 1.5 into it. It's very simple that way. And I can show you that here in just a quick second. But first I wanted to make sure that I had a handle on what curriculum you were using of ours, so I can show you particularly. Are you using our math, our MESA units?
Our MESA units, English Language Arts.
Okay, and math too? The Engage New York, yes? Social studies and science then too, right?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So, were there major questions right now that I can answer about what we just did before I go into a schedule and showing you how to populate a schedule?
I don't see any at the moment.
Okay.
Let me just clarify really quickly on the curriculum. So we're using all their curriculum, right? Our virtual kids. Yeah. So our virtual kids are using all your curriculum.
Okay.
Just to clarify that. Okay. All right.
Awesome. So
We're actually, one more thing. Sorry, we're gonna take possibly the order of the units, like from math, and try to match them to our units. So we're might be the order of the math might be out of sync for what you guys have in there, but it's going to try to align with what we have here going on in our local curriculum.
yeah, that's great.
Okay.
That's
Thanks.
great. So I am going to find a regular schedule. Here's a 3rd grade remote learning schedule. And what I really want to show you that once this is set up, like Liat was saying, once this is set up, you can easily add those pieces. So I don't have times or anything in here, but you could easily put times in. I put one in up here. But this writer's workshop or reader's workshop, when I open it, you'll see it is lesson 3.1.8. So what I would do is I would first go to modify my roadmaps, right? And I'm going to make the next day. So then here was my third grade map. I'm going to make a copy of this. So then I have the next day ready, right? And then I'm just going to add all the pieces to it. If you want to do it daily, but you could do it for a whole week too. It just depends on how you want to do that. So it's creating a copy for me. And as it creates that copy, I need to be thinking about, like, how am I going to actually title these things, and how am I going to keep everything separate? Am I going to use just a date? Am I going to use, you know, the week of? Those are going to be really important for you in finding your materials. I use dates. So like I could easily, when I was looking for something from my kids, I could say June 1st and click June 1, and here are all my kids and what they did on June 1. So you can see Monday, June 1st, Haas, third grade, and then the list of my kids here, right? So you can do it by date. That might be the easiest way for you to title them, I would probably say. So going back to that list, and probably that copy is ready now, we can open the copy. There we go. And when I open this copy, remember we did 3.1.8 before. Oh, my internet's running a little slow. And you click on the Reader's Workshop. And then right here it says File. Notice this is a Collaborify roadmap node. So this node opens to another roadmap, right? So if I click on this file here and change file, and I want 3.1.9, right? And then click search. Here's 3.1.9 readers. So we know it is for the readers. You won't have all these extra copies like I do. It's just because I have access to multiple copies of it. And you click select, and there's your lesson for the next day in reading.
Awesome.
Right? So the same thing for writers. You would do the same thing, right? You would just do file. You would add that next lesson for the day. And you can do the same thing with Engage New York. So all you do, if that's a Collaborify roadmap node. So if you want to add a map within a map, which I think is a beautiful way to do it, because then you can have just a Reader's Workshop node instead of trying to have Reader's Workshop over in this corner. And then, you know what I mean? Like where you've got a map here and a map, like it's all connected. It's better to have these separate, like little nodes with just a roadmap within it with that has the lesson. Do you have any questions about that?
That was very helpful.
Great, great. And then one of the other major pieces to this too is that whole idea of that teachers can work in that collaborative atmosphere and that they can put things in one place. Are you planning on having specials at all, like an art or gym or music?
I think we're going to try to have a resource bank where they can choose some things from, but it's not going to change daily.
Okay. This is something that Kent City did that's beautiful. I just absolutely love this idea that they had. So one of the girls that, well, two of the women that are on our team, they worked with us with MLPBL out of MSU. And we were, when this happened in March, they ended up putting together this map, right? So this is a map. They made 7 copies of this map. So they had 7 weeks of this map. And then each teacher comes into this map and they plop their activity. So these activities were only meant to be like 30 minutes, and then there's 5 activities for the week. So I just think this was brilliant what they did, and it allowed for those kids to still have exposure to those specials in a virtual atmosphere. And so there was just a welcome video that they did, which, I mean, it just gives you an example of how a specials teacher could do that. They gave a video at the beginning of every week. So every week, the specials teacher would create a welcome video, you know, we really miss you kind of thing, just kind of touching base with the kids. And then they had created activities for them. So you can see, you know, they created some games for them to play and different activities within here. Here's some rhythm, here's the Chrome Music Maker, and then other kinds of music resources that were available. But this provided that well-rounded education, right, in a virtual setting. So I thought that this is a brilliant way to bring all of that together. And I'm using Wendy's word, brilliant. So here you go, right? Here's some bowling activities. He's got, you know, a message, but then he's got a second message for the day. And you can see, and you know what's really kind of funny when you look at these, you notice that these teachers were fairly new at using roadmaps. I'm going to show you a really cool trick, and we're going to have many more colors eventually. But here on, if you click your mouse, a right click, or like 2 fingers on a mouse pad, you get this background here. If you click on background, you can choose colors. So like if I want a bright blue, woo. So it makes it kind of more fun, right? And I know that that's one of those things that are one of the things that we immediately teach people, because we don't want, we want them to actually get into the whole idea. We wouldn't want them to, you know, think that changing the background was the most important thing. So also, I'm sure that you're going to have virtual students that have speech therapy, that have maybe OT, that have resource room needs and times that have to be looked at for IEP reasons. Here, this also provides a place for that. So if a teacher makes these teachers a collaborator on their map, they can create this map, or the people that have made this map, right? Miss Baxter, Miss Boyles, Miss Mullins, where they put their curriculum in here, they make that teacher a collaborator, and then they can copy and paste this in their map, right? So that kids have one place. We don't want kids going all over the place, right? It's best to keep them in one platform. And this is the way to keep them in one platform, rather than saying, oh, well, you have to use Google Classroom if you're going to Miss Mullins' class. Oh, no, now I want you to go get a Zoom link from your email if you're going to go see the speech therapist today, right? It's best if we, as the adults, come together to put it in one place for the kids.
Correct.
So those are just some of those little pieces. Any other questions? I know you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, how does this all work? And how am I going to get this done? And yeah, we all know how you feel, right? Because all of us are teachers, and we all are going to be going back just like you are. And so just know and take comfort in that we are with you.
Yeah, it just takes time and getting used to the format and everything. It's going to take time.
It does. So I'm going to come through here and show you how you're going to actually deploy this to your students. Is that where we should move next? Is that what we're thinking?
Monique, there is a request if you can show how to go through an assignment.
Oh, sure. How about if I send one out and then we'll show how to look at it after I send it out? Is that cool?
Hold on a second. Okay. Okay.
We answered it,
Okay.
and it's not showing up in her modified.
So one of our teachers created a question and sent it out to her colleagues, and they answered it, but it did not show back up in the original teacher's account. Is that correct? In her monitor and assess.
You have to go to start.roadmap.center if they're a student answering it.
I don't think they did that. So, okay, thank you.
Okay.
But I don't
But
think
if
they
they
set
go
up.
there,
I don't think they set up a class or anything, did they? How could they? I mean, they could make it a collaborator, but then they won't be able to see it, right?
I think
Monique?
yeah.
she set up a sample class and added them as students, right? But they didn't go to the student website to answer it, I guess.
Oh, okay. But go ahead and try that while we're going through here. But here is that whole manage class. So this is where you would add your classes, and it sounds like you guys have a handle on that. You add new class, you create your class name. I have like tons of them in here, so.
Just a few.
Yeah, just a few. People from all over the state. And then you would create your class, and then after you've created your class, you click on your name within that class. You can add teachers to that class so that they have access to the things that you've sent out to the students. And the same thing here, you can add them individually by email. You can add them using that CSV file, or you can add them Google Classroom. And then coming back to distribute, and it sounds like you have distributed a roadmap. So this is how you can do it. This is the way that I would suggest sending it out. So here, I could send this copy of a webinar to my students. I would just select a class and I can send it to my old class from last year and click next. And then this is a really important part, right? That whole solo and collaborative. So thinking about all maps usually are sent out solo, but there might be specific areas that would be sent out collaboratively. Like if you want your collaborative area so that all students can work in it, you would send that particular roadmap out collaboratively, if that makes sense. So here's solo. I can distribute it, or if I click collaborative, if I add groups and I want my whole class to be on one map so that everybody in the class can participate, like on a driving question board or some type of a, like we have those collaborative areas where there's like 25 pages of PDFs where you could assign, you know, each child a page, and then they get to draw or write something within that booklet. And then those kids have this booklet of all of their friends and all of their classmates within that one PDF Pal writer node. But anyways, how I would move all of these kids, I just click on each child and I'm going to put them all in one group. Notice it's putting them all in one group. So if I put all of these kids in one group, and I click, you have to click save too. And then that puts all of them in one group so that they can use that exact same map. And then I would click distribute, and it's going to send the whole class this Haas third grade remote. And so we have to think about all of the pieces here, right? So it's going to take a couple minutes because it's sending out reading roadmap, a writing roadmap, a math roadmap, a social studies roadmap. It's sending out multiple copies of these to 20-something students. So just know that you need to be patient when waiting for these to load. And I know it's hard to be patient in a I want it kind of
But
world.
really, it gives you the option to do the things that you would do in a normal face-to-face classroom, but remotely. You can have pieces that the kids are doing independently and individually. You can have pieces that the whole class does together. You can have pieces when they're grouped. I mean, not all the kids have to be in one group. They can be the red group, the blue group, and the purple group. So really, you can do it all here. Monique?
Yes.
Can I share my screen for
Absolutely.
4 minutes? I want to show them 2 more things.
Absolutely.
So you are K5, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So I just very quickly want, and you're using all of our curriculum. So I have other maps that are in the works. They will be available. They're not in the repository yet, so don't be scared if you can't find them. But we are building maps for you. We're breaking down our lessons to the components. As you saw, our lessons, for example, the math lessons have a few parts in them. They have the fluency and then the application and the concept development. So to not overwhelm the kids, we also made these maps for you where you can do it part by part. You can do it all together or chunk it. It's your decision. You can do 1 part per day, whatever you decide, but it's really walking them through. So for example, you can you can learn how to do the fluency piece in roadmaps and just work on that. And you have a video walking you through a fluency and what would that look like in a roadmap. That's the video here. And then they practice and they do a fluency activity. And that's all they do. And why do I have title?
That's why, yeah. That's why it's still in revision, right?
And then same for the problem, the application problem. They click launch and they have a video explaining what the application is going to look like in their map and how to do it. And then you have a K version and a second and a first and second grade version. And you, the teacher, can Apple Note and hide what they're not going to be doing. I clicked on the activity and then I'm clicking here on the Apple badge. And then when I send this map to my kiddos, if I'm teaching first grade, they're not going to see that there was a K option there at all. They just do this one activity. And I also want to show you that on our website, Monique is showing wonderful schedules that she's been using and other teachers are using for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. I just wanted to let you know that we also have schedules for lower L students. If you want to be inspired by our templates, we have a weekly template for the little kids. And then we have a couple of daily options for you. One that's just reading and writing for the very littles. One that has a little bit more, it has reading, writing, math, and social studies that you might want to look at and use, or you just might want to look at and be inspired when you create your daily schedule. So this can also look like this, which is very friendly, and I think it's you did an awesome job, Monique. I think it's very friendly and inviting for the kids, and it really shows them the pieces of their day visually.
Those are in the repository?
Those are all in the repository, the schedules.
Okay, thank you.
They can search them with just schedules, right? If they
Yes.
click schedules, yep.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have multiple accounts, that's why it's happening.
Yeah. Wendy, will you let these teachers know and assure them how easy that it might be a little stressful at the beginning because you just don't, right? Like we just don't know how this is going to roll out. But will you assure them that or tell them about your experience?
Okay, hi guys. I think I've said before, I came into Roadmaps, I did a webinar on a Thursday, I did a make and take, which we used to do on a Friday. And on the Monday, I had this, what I thought was this masterful roadmap. I thought, gosh, everybody's going to so love it. And I got super excited and I got this and that and the other. And the kids loved it. But then I had these parents saying, well, we would like some more structure. We would like this and we would like that. And I just grew with it, you know, and I learned as I went along. And I think one of the things that, you know, my kids didn't have any of this. Which sounds really bad. I'm not that bad a teacher, honestly. But it was just like, here you go, guys. This is the best, you know, let's go with this. And they did it. The kids loved it. They went through the sequencing. They loved the pictures. They loved going through all the different ways of doing things. And it was so empowering with 100% participation. That was the kids. Now, the few parents, you know, it was like, there's an empty drawer here. And I was going, that's right, it's empty. You know, and you are always going to get those people that go, you know what, that was awesome. And you're always going to get those people that are going to say, well, I couldn't find, or I don't know where. And you just need to say, okay, well, this is my list. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, well, have you tried? Or you could look at, or you can contact me. Just like as when we're at school, right? We get those parents that we just link with, and that they're working with us, and the parents that need a little bit more of a helping hand, as it were, to go along. So, I mean, I just love this. When my principal said, you know, you've got to have all this curriculum, and then I just went, I had a meltdown, and how can I do this? And the more I got into roadmaps, the easier it became. I click, I drag, I pull, and to be quite honest, it was like that. And I was really enjoying it. And I know it's horrible to say, but I actually really didn't mind. I would have carried on because it was enjoyable. It was empowering. The kids were loving it. The parents loved it. And yeah, I'm nervous about going back to school, but it is what we make it, right? And we're always learning. And as long as the parents know that we're learning with them, and the kids know, and we get that community going, yeah. I think that's the most that we can hope for, right?
And I think that's one of the biggest things too, Wendy, is that sense of community that roadmaps allows us to have, because it's the stuff is in there, and kids could do it by themselves, but that's not how this is built. That's not why it's built this way. It's built so that teachers can go on and do a live lesson, and then they can say, okay, I'm going to meet you back here in 20 minutes and we're going to talk about what you did, and it gives them that 20 minutes away, right? And then they come back and then you talk about it. It's not that our day changes so much. It's just that when they're doing their independent work, maybe we're meeting with a small group. I see this as a way to do the school day online. I mean, it's going to be hard, right? It's not going to be easy, but I also think that as teachers, we don't want a canned program in which we're just a monitor. We didn't go to school to be a monitor. We want to actually teach our children. So I think that roadmaps allows for that sense of community and allows for that sense of ownership as a teacher and a student.
Absolutely.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So we are going to show monitor and assess. So I'm going to go back to that, right? That was our last thing, correct?
I think so.
So you can see it distributed that copy. Remember when we last left off, that was distributing that copy that is collaborative to all the students. So I could share it with my Google Classroom by clicking share. Are you guys using Google Classroom?
Your screen with us?
Oh, shh.
Please.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
No
Sorry.
problem.
That's so funny.
Is this you, Sarah? Is that you or not? Sarah Hicks? Okay.
So here, are you planning on using Google Classroom, or they're going to use start.roadmap.center?
Hold on a second. What's the question again? Sorry. Are we using Google Classroom?
Well, that was a question in here for them.
Not K through 5.
Not K through 5, no.
Okay, that's fine. And you don't need to, right? You just go to start.roadmap.center and the map is there. So there's no reason really for a Google Classroom per se. Here is a copy a student link, and then there's monitor and assess. And I can just click done. I don't necessarily have to choose one.
Monique, can I just say that when I did mine, I contacted my parents through my Facebook, classroom Facebook. We had the Remind app and emails. And so we contacted them. I contacted them through those places as well.
Great. Okay.
Here is the monitor and assess, and just know that the monitor and assess is undergoing a major overhaul, which is going to be absolutely awesome when you get it and when that new version comes out. But this is what we have right now. So you would select your class, and then you're going to select your distribution. So you're going to choose the map that you sent out. So let's say I choose and then here is that roadmap, and you can see these are all the roadmaps that are within that roadmap, right? So within August 25th, there's exploratory that has all those pieces. There's a social studies and there's a writing one. If I click on the writing one, and then I select the group of students I sent it to, it will show the whole writing map. Or if I click here on this roadmap activity selected, it will take me to the only one that I need to look at that would have like a response from a student in. And then all I would do once I've drilled down to that small of a level and I'm looking at one specific activity that they can add a response to, I would click next student. And it just is like a pile of papers, right? And you look at the next student response and then next student. And here at the bottom, you as a teacher can click this plus button and you can add a photo video. So you could add actually a response onto this map. So I could take a photo or video because of the fact that it's just a 30-second video. I can click on here and I can, you'll see my face here in a second, and I can give the video or do the video and then click save, and then it will save right to this page. And then all I would have to do is click up, and then here it is on the top. So when they go back in to look at my responses, then they would have that, they would see the video from me.
I wrote in the chat that we do recommend having a time in your day dedicated to looking at yesterday's map or the day before. So the kids have time throughout the school day to look at your comments and revise their work.
Absolutely. Here's an important piece. So within this monitor and assess, just so you know, let's say that I sent out this August 25th map and geez, I made a mistake. I didn't do it right. And I sent it out to the kids already. And I don't know what I'm going to do because, you know, I don't want two August 25th to get in there and get confusing. When you click on that monitor and assess and you come up here, you can put it in the trash can and get rid of it. So it'll pull it off their roadmap, their list, so that it doesn't get confused with other things. So you can just click delete and it takes it back. So then you don't have to worry about if you make another map or you send out a different one, right? You distribute a new one that says August 25th, then there's not going to be that confusion of, oh, there's two August 25th maps in my, which one do I click on? Oh, you know, that whole thing.
Okay.
So I hope that helps too a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then thinking about those collaborative areas, like this collaborative class area, right? So when you're assigning a map, and let's say that you want the reading workshop map, you're going to have to click on this show nested roadmaps, because if I click that off, it's just going to show the main maps, but if I click on show nested road maps, it's going to show like all the pieces, right? So here's a part 1, here's a part 2. It's going to show all the like little pieces. So let's say gym's going to be a collaborative activity, but the other ones aren't, right? So I can click next, and when I send out that gym one will be a collaborative one within a roadmap of individual activities. Does that make some sense?
Oh, you have to send the main one out too, though, right? You have to send the main one as an individual activity, but then if you want to collaborate, then you do the nested roadmap and you mark on there that you want it to be.
Right. So what happens is, if you always have to send it out, right? You're going to send it out individually to the students if you want them to work on it individually. But if there's an area within that map that you sent out individually that you want them to work on collaboratively, you need to assign that piece of that map collaboratively, separate.
Yes, thank you.
So it normally would go out just individually, or you can put it in groups. But if you want like one piece of that map to be so that all kids can get in that one area, then you need to assign that one area as collaborative. So that one area will be sent out, will be distributed separately.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I know we've kind of maximized our hour here. Are there other questions that we need, or do we have enough that we can work on some stuff for a while?
Yeah.
And remember, if you have questions, send it to digitalcurricula@umich.edu. So a number of us can see it. Liat sees it, Monique sees it, I see it, Josh sees it, because there's different questions, and it'll go to a number of people so somebody can answer it.
Right.
So,
Right.
Have you seen that with us before? Elliot, can you email us out that?
it's there, but I'll send it again. No problem.
Okay.
I'll send it right now.
Thank you.
Let me show you something real quick too, just so that you guys are familiar with this, because you don't have to have, if you go to the roadmap.center, if this is, your home base anyways, but up here in the home, if you click on that home, you have all your how-to videos and things here too.
Okay.
Just so that you know that that's all available there. And then as we add things, we're going to be putting, a little note up here for you guys to take a look at. So.
Okay. Any other questions? You've given us some more things to chew on, so
When are we going to be meeting again?
we're taking bites at a time. I think Lance is, I think our staff is meeting next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, I think we have a scheduled meeting with the whole staff again. So
25th. Yep.
Awesome.
Okay.
This is great. And remember, we're here to help you out. I mean, if we don't have a how-to video for it, we're going to make one for you, because we want to make sure that you have everything you need to be successful in this endeavor, right? And just remember, like Wendy said, right? I'm sure Denise can pop in and tell us about how you learn as you go, right? We know that the first day everybody's going to be like sweating, and it's right. It's true.
Yeah, I will pop in and say that the teachers that I have worked with are all, the stories that, Wendy told, and you just, you use it, it works, but it's a one piece at a time. And now with the how-to videos and getting stuck is part of it. But I was so impressed with Melissa's first day. I'm sitting here going, wow. I mean, I'm just blown away by what she just took off and did. And that's the power of this, is that it becomes part of, it's you. And like Monique said, that piece that I hear teachers saying is that building of a community, that relationship. The kids are missing their teacher. They want to see your face. They want to hear your voice. I mean, we can go on any, platform or any website, but it's not you. You're the teacher, and just to see you and have that community or that relationship and see their school schedule and hear, and you can't do it for every lesson, but that roadmap connects you in a way that, no other platform can bring you back. And as the girl said, you go out there for 20 minutes and they can work independently, but you always have, I call it the one-stop shop. I want to go to the superstore today. I want everything in one place. I don't want to go to 5 different places. I want to go to one. And that's what the roadmap is so different than anything else out there. You can come back, and we all know what it feels like to come home. The kids get that feeling. My colleague who has built some roadmaps over the summer, Kristen Kreiner, you'll see in the math. In the beginning, she's like, there's no way, I can't do that. I'm overwhelmed. Stop it. She literally wouldn't let me come into her classroom the first week I started. And she goes, so I had all 120 students in social studies, and I was determined, but I was giving her time. So little by little, but what the convincing moment were the students asking, saying, Miss Kreiner, can we do those maps we're doing? And she's like, okay, all right, let me just, but it was not during the COVID and the home stretch, but Kristen's kind of like Wendy's story. She was familiar somewhat at school. She came on and she just put it on her class Facebook, as Wendy mentioned, said, parents, please try this, with your students. And she now, I have asked her, and then the team knows her. She said, there's no other way I would teach remotely and at school. It'll look different in your classroom sometimes. Your activities on your roadmap may be, in a small group, or you may be getting chart paper or Post-it notes, but you still, can do it at home, at school. So that's, one of my stories, but I have worked with so many teachers that now, and they're all going to say this was a challenge, but that's what the team is here for. That's what the videos are. And like Monique said, if it's not something that we already have made, we'll do it because we're still learning. I didn't know about that trash can, Monique, and that, I did not know that. I'm just sitting here going, when did that, so it's a process, but we're all lifelong learners. And I guarantee you, if you stay strong and stay committed to it, you'll develop your own, type of roadmap that's for you, but having the capability to share it with your colleagues and your students, it's win-win. So that's my story. And I just keep going and learning. And I just really, hats off to all of you. I was just blown away by that first day map. I'm like, wow. So
that is awesome.
Get there. Thank you.
Now I have it in my personal repository.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing with that for my first day.
Yeah. Add me as a collaborator. We don't see that's the beauty of this.
Lance might have a question. Lance, did you want me to ask something? Okay. Tutorials for parents. Yeah, he was asking about tutorials for parents, and I think we're good with that. Yep. Anything else, anybody? Okay. I think we're good for a while.
I would say send your parents to watch the kids' tutorials. The teachers' tutorials are more for you, how to edit, customize, make changes. The students' tutorials can also be viewed by the parents to see how to use the apps, really.
Okay, perfect. Good advice, thank you. Thank you all. I think that's all from our end.
You're going to do it. You're going to do it. Breathe. Very important to remember to breathe.
Yes.
Breathe. We'll do it. We'll get through this.
We're all there with you, right? We're all going back to our classrooms too. So just know.
Appreciate your help very much. Yes.
Just breathe. Very important. Very important.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. I'll send you the URL. Sure. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.